I got my coffee. I'm gonna go downstairs and do some work. Wow, look at that hair. It's huge. That's pretty ridiculous, actually. It's like a pompadour or something like that. It was not what I was going for. Just coming downstairs to my man cave here, and I want to start doing some work. But before that, I just wanted to turn the camera on myself and just give you an idea of what I'm thinking this year. My aspirations and my recent purchases. I made a couple purchases that are pretty awesome, and it's sitting right there. Pretty badass, right? Can't wait to talk about it, actually. So towards the end of last year, I started feeling really depressed, and it's because 2016 was just very bad. I think it was very bad for everybody. Everybody that I talked to, all my friends said it's just terrible. But for me personally, I didn't make any movement at all. It was just, I didn't feel like I was any better towards the end of 2016 compared to when I was at the beginning of it. And it dawned on me, I'm like, I can't afford to waste these years. I'm getting older, and I just can't do it. So for 2017, I wanted to do something that was out of my comfort zone, and I got to start looking at the lens more. I'm still looking at myself here. It's a bad habit. It's one of my pet peeves, actually. But for 2017, I really wanted to focus on artwork and getting back into it again. It's something that I've kind of let slide for way too long. I used to do a lot of it, and for some reason I just stopped. Maybe because of my job, maybe because of family, I guess a bit of everything. But right now I do mostly, my 9 to 5 is, I'm essentially a graphic designer, but I do moving graphic design for television. So it deals with a lot of fonts and slick graphics and stuff like that. And I've kind of put concept art and comic book art to the side, and it's one thing that I've regretted, and I really need to get back into it. So I made a huge purchase at the end of 2016 in hopes that maybe it'll motivate me to kind of draw more. Also, I started a YouTube channel, which is completely out of my comfort zone. I don't feel comfortable around social media at all. I don't like talking in front of the camera like I'm doing right now, so I tend to stutter a lot, and it's very hard on me, but I gotta do it. I'm forcing myself to do this. I know that it's for the better. I'm very grateful that you guys are watching this, and I hope that it becomes a thing, and I hope that it motivates me to draw more. That's the big thing. So yeah, that's it. Thanks again for watching, and I really wanted to do this video to speak about the Mobile Studio Pro, because my last few videos, that's all it's been. I've been unboxing it and talking about it. It's amazing. I love it. But I wanted to talk about the things that I liked about it and the things that I didn't like about it. And I don't want this to be a review, because quite frankly I don't have the time to do reviews. Like the guys on YouTube, you know, they do these crazy reviews, and they have amazing graphics and it looks very slick. I just don't have time. I may have 15 minutes best throughout the day to kind of just point the camera at myself, so I'm going to do it more of like a vlogging style. I think that would probably work best for me, because it involves very little post video editing. So I just want to be able to film it and lay it, you know, encode it, and then just drop it into YouTube, just because of time. But baby steps, right? Maybe later on down the line I might want to slick it up a bit, but for now this will have to do. I'm just gonna try to talk and draw at the same time. I know I said before I couldn't do that, but I'm gonna try. It's all about trying, right? 2017 is all about trying and being better at things. That's what we're doing. Is that focused? I can't even tell. I hope it is. And I forgot to use the external mic that I have. So sorry about the audio quality. We're gonna have to rely on the in-camera audio quality for this one, because I'm not gonna redo this. I don't have time. I gotta get to work. Okay, so look at that. The project's already open. So I want to talk about the Mobile Studio Pro, and let's go into why let's go into the things that I didn't like about it first. There's a couple. First of all, the battery life. It's terrible. I don't know what to say about that. It's just, other than it's terrible. I am not having fun with that at all. It doesn't last me any more than 4 hours tops, and you know, Wacom claims that it lasts up to 6 hours. It's not even close. From my experience, it's not even close. Another thing is the heat. It gives off quite a bit of heat in this area down here and to the top right hand corner. Not to the point where it's it's gonna scorch your hand and makes it really uncomfortable, but for me, I usually associate heat with certain death of electronics. Eventually the heat is the thing that kills electronics, and it just makes me feel really uneasy. But like I said, it doesn't get to a point where it becomes super hot. What else? The other thing that I don't like is these USB ports here, the USB-C ports. I'm gonna hold it up here, and it's gonna be blurry because I've set it to like a set focus, but you kind of get the idea. It's right there. I have a love-hate relationship with it, actually. It's I don't like it because none of my hardware works. Like, everything is USB, right? I'm sure you guys are all the same way. USB. What else? I got a bunch of junk on my table that I can't find now. But you get the point. Everything is USB, not this USB-C stuff. I understand that that is the future, and they are future-proofing, but for right now, 95% of what you have at home isn't going to work with this thing. You're going to have to buy a separate adapter that kind of just plugs into these USB-C ports that extend out this way, that make the tablet look kind of junky, if you ask me. Right now it's beautiful, it looks amazing, symmetrical, but yeah, you're gonna have these things sticking out, and you're gonna have to stick things into that thing sticking out, which is pretty unattractive to me. And I'm gonna be afraid that I'm gonna hit it and it's gonna bend or something like that. What else don't I like about it? Another thing that I have a love-hate relationship with is not so much a love-hate relationship, but it's how Wacom, advertised the screen, this etched glass thing, to be the next big thing. It's supposed to feel like paper. To me, I don't notice much difference at all. And I know that there are a lot of reviewers out there who claim that there's a huge difference, and I'm not saying they're liars or they're wrong. It's just, for me, I didn't see much difference at all. And that was a bit disappointing to me. Not so much a hate, but kind of disappointed. But I thought that the feel of the screen on these Wacom tablets were pretty darn good to begin with. And if you feel the same way, then it shouldn't be much of an issue. That's about it. You're probably wondering, does this guy like anything about the tablet? And yeah, I do. There's a lot to like about it, for sure. For instance, like, I'm upgrading from the Cintiq Companion 1, and with that, I mean, we had this ability to zoom, but we didn't have this ability to rotate, which is incredible. Like, I can't speak highly enough about that, and it was a huge surprise to me. That's one of the things that I kind of wished that was in one, but it just wasn't. So I know that with the Cintiq Companion 2 you could do that, I believe. I read somewhere that you could, but it's super snappy on the Mobile Studio. It's super snappy on the Mobile Studio Pro. So people that are upgrading from Companion 1, you're in for a treat, because that's amazing. I also like the fact that the processor speed is finally to a point where it's almost like you're free from technical limitations now. It's super fast, and you don't get any lag at all, as far as from my experience. And I'm talking too much without drawing, actually. Like I said before, I have an issue with talking and drawing at the same time. I just can't do it. It's not natural for me. It's very difficult for me just to kind of talk on its own, let alone draw and talk. But this is just a drawing that I've been working on. It's not based off any character. It's my own thing. See, sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. It's kind of weird. Oh, another cool thing is, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but I didn't, because they didn't have it on the Companion 1, but if you double tap on it, it brings it back to full frame. Isn't that amazing? And then you double tap on it again, and it brings you right back to the area that you were working on. I find that one of the most impressive things. I don't know, easily amused, I guess. Okay, my keyboard isn't turned on. That's why it's working like this. I find that you really don't need a keyboard anymore. It totally removes it. That was a barrier before with the old companions, but with this version, it's completely feasible to work without a keyboard, which is amazing because sometimes you don't want to lug a keyboard around, or if you're just going to a coffee shop and you just want to do a quick 1 hour sketch or something like that, completely feasible. Just with the pinching and zooming and the rotating and the express keys, I find it really helpful. I mean, you can zoom. Okay, let's rotate. So when I left click on this wheel, I can rotate just like that. Pretty handy. And bottom click I set to brush size, so you can toggle brush size, which is amazing. You don't need quick keys anymore. Cycle layers to the right, and top click I move to zoom. So with all these, with the touch controls and the express keys, you really don't need a keyboard anymore, and that's amazing. So if you're upgrading from the Companion 1, that's a huge reason to upgrade as far as I'm concerned. Another thing that I really like about it is, I know I mentioned before, the screen, the etch glass. I wasn't impressed with that, but the actual technology underneath that, the screen resolution and the RGB, I think it's 96% Adobe accuracy, is pretty awesome. For me, the color is super important because you want to be able to create accurately on your screen what you will see eventually when you print out your work. I know that for me, that's what I plan to do. I plan to take my work and I plan to make prints of it. And the funny thing is, what I found out was when I imported my old artwork that I was doing. I don't know if you remember my old artwork. I think I had it in my my initial video. It was of this. Actually, I have it open right now. It was of this character right here. When I opened it up on my Mobile Studio Pro, the colors were way off. It was very weird. It was like super oversaturated, or even pink. The skin tone was really pink. I had to readjust it back down again. But just imagine if I was to work on the Companion 1 and bring that artwork to a professional print shop to get prints made. It would have printed all wacky. It would have been oversaturated and would have been pink. And you know, as an artist, I spent hours alone just kind of tweaking the colors and stuff like that. So it's super valuable. I don't think that something like that could be understated or overstated enough. Overstated? Understated? Understatement. I don't know. I don't speak good. English is my second language. It's a rough go sometimes. But you know, you get the idea, right? I mean, you want to be able to create accurately here what's going to eventually be printed, and to me that would have been terrible, right? So that's definite plus for sure. If you're planning to upgrade from either the Companion 1 or 2, I think that's a huge selling point. Yeah, I just love this option to kind of pinch and zoom and stuff like that. It's just phenomenal. This illustration, by the way, is going on for way too long. I've just almost forgotten about it. I just like, okay, that's good enough. I'm just gonna do this kind of thing. I'm gonna close crop it, stick it on Instagram, bam, it's done. Don't have to worry about it anymore. No, really, I wanna eventually finish it up, but I'm having some issues with the transparency, like this technique right here. Don't know how to quite do that. It's a glowy kind of business. I don't know if it's showing up well. See, sometimes the pinch works, sometimes it doesn't. I'd say maybe 70% of the time it works, but you know, it's workable. It's a bit annoying, but it's workable. What else did I like about it? I like everything about it. Essentially, what most people will find when they upgrade is the speed. The clock speed is higher. Like, everything is just better. That's always a plus. If you're looking to upgrade for the papery texture that Wacom is advertising, I'd say temper your expectations there, because to me, even though it may have felt a bit different, it wasn't enough to be like, wow, I need to get this thing because it feels like, you know, pencil on paper. That's better. I set the stand to kind of go on a more vertical. I was noticing a bit of glare coming from the lights above. Sorry for that if you had to kind of suffer through that, but yeah. So who benefits the most from upgrading to the Mobile Studio Pro? obviously guys like me coming from the companion 1 are gonna see bigger differences than people coming from the companion 2, just simply because the processor speeds will be a bigger jump. It's essentially 2 generations, whereas the companion 2 guys, it's 1 generation. So you know, outside of the obvious, I think that there are benefits to both camps. The new tablet gets a lot right. It brings with it a couple new problems, like the USB-C ports, but I don't know, you could even look at that as a plus. It's future-proofing, right? But I wanted to close this video off by saying, even though this is kind of a semi-review, it's more of my thoughts on it, but I also wanted to mention that I want to try something different for 2017, and I want to be better. Last year was just horrendous for me. I was just kind of depressed and unimpressed with myself. So I'm hoping that this is going to help me grow by doing this. I promise you I'm going to do more maybe tutorial type things on specific things, how to draw, like how to draw a nose, how to draw some hair, or maybe I'll just put the camera on myself and just start drawing without even saying anything. But I just want to be better, and I don't know if you guys find yourself in the same position as me, where you were kind of disappointed in yourself for 2016 and you're kind of looking to get back into artwork as well. You know, feel free to kind of just, you know, I'd love it if we can all grow together. We could all kind of go through this adventure together and just be better and, you know, do things that are meaningful. But yeah, that's what I plan to do. I want to take myself out of my comfort zone and do things that I normally wouldn't do. It's very difficult for me. It's super difficult for me to even point the camera at myself and speak to it. I don't know if that's blurry or what. The color is really weird. But I'm investing a lot of money into this, and I want to make this work. But anyway, I don't want to make this go on for too long because I actually have a lot of work to do. But yeah, give me your thoughts, and thanks for watching, and hit like if you wish, and subscribe as well. It makes a huge difference, and that's why I'm doing it, is I want to get information out there to a wide group of people. So awesome, thanks again. And what time is it now? It's pretty late. I gotta get to work. Okay, bye.